Over to you then, Miss Draper.
Thank you, sir. With the greatest of respect, you're being very selfish, Mrs. Heaton, aren't you?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, this case has got nothing to do with Lucy, has it?
Of course it has.
But the village school isn't the only school that Lucy could go to. There are many good schools in the area, aren't there?
I've looked at all the schools. This is the only one that's suitable for her.
So where do you propose that Mr. Heaton should live then?
Well, perhaps he should have thought about that before he started screwing around with his secretary.
So this unreasonableness on your part is all about Mr. Heaton having an affair, is it? See, I put it to you, Mrs. Heaton, your case is based upon your desire for revenge against Mr. Heaton. It's not really about the welfare of the children at all, is it?
Look, I didn't say that. You're trying to put words into my mouth. But it is his fault that we're here.
But don't you understand, Mrs. Heaton? The court has got to consider the interests of both parties. The court has got to consider what's fair. I put it to you, you're just thinking of yourself.
Well, he surely wasn't thinking about me, was he? Every time he started shouting at me whenever I tried to speak when we were together.
It seems to me, Mrs. Heaton, you've forgotten about your other children, haven't you? All of your evidence thus far has been about Lucy, hasn't it? That's because it suits your case, doesn't it?
Don't you dare tell me I don't love all of my children.
Mrs. Heaton, can I suggest you adopt a more realistic approach here? You're just not facing the facts, are you?
Look, his parents are going to help him out. They've got plenty of money.
But Mrs. Heaton, don't you accept that if the matrimonial home was sold and the proceeds were divided between yourself and Mr. Heaton, then you would both have more than sufficient money to buy a nice property to live in with the children?
And haven't you thought about where the boys are going to practice? I'm going to get complaints from the neighbours and Lucy won't be able to get to sleep.
Seems to me, Mrs. Heaton, that you've just not considered Mr. Heaton or the boys at all, have you? I mean, why shouldn't Mr. Heaton be in a similar position to yourself? Why shouldn't he have his own property? Is that not fair?
Fair? You dare to talk to me about fairness? What's fair about throwing me out of my home?
See, again, Mrs. Heaton, I put it to you, your evidence clearly shows this is all about you and what you want.
Look, why does everything have to change? Why can't we just stay as we are?